Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll, and I come to you today with an update on where I am with some of these dolls. Okay, so anyways, I've been working on the Dolly Rekord doll at the same time working on some Patsy dolls. As some are sanded, some are drying from being painted, some have to go back and be resanded again because I left mistakes behind. So I'm back and forth and all over the place with it, which I kind of know where I'm at. But I just thought maybe it'd be nice just to catch you up and see what I've been doing and some of the obstacles I've come across. So anyways, I want to show you. I can get her over here. This is Dolly Rekord. Okay, this is her head. Now, she has a pate that goes on top of her head that will give her the round, for those that don't know. Now, I might have to order a pate because, first of all, I don't know where my pates are. Of all things, that's one thing I should have known where they were. And I don't. I'm looking over to the side here, and I'm just don't know. I have not had to work with a doll like this for such a long time, but it doesn't matter. I would like to buy more pates anyways. It doesn't, you know, this is something that you're always in need of because I've got more dolls with only half heads like this here and the crown missing. So even though I may not know where my pates are, it doesn't matter. I need them. So that's one of my things I'm going to be ordering coming up here. Okay, where am I on this doll's head? I was painting her, and I noticed that my paint was getting a little bit on the dark side. And I noticed on the bottom of my paint there was a little bit of burnt umber that just wasn't mixed in well enough. And I think that's what's giving me this darker paint as I move through, which I don't want. I want her to be a little bit lighter in her skin tone. So my skin tone's darkening, and so I had to take some of my leftover paint this is the paint that I use for all my dolls here. But this is too light. I had to darken it one more time with a little bit of umber, burnt umber, and it's that burnt umber that's getting me into trouble right now. So what did I do? Well, I poured some of this into my little jar here and I lightened it up. Don't go by the outside of this jar. That does not reflect what's on the inside. If we look on the inside of the jar, you will see that it's a lot brighter, a lot lighter. Okay, so anyways, it was darker like this. So anyhow, I've stirred it up really good right now. So I painted her on the back of her neck just to see how light it is. And you can see where it stops right here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you can see from light to dark light. There's the light where it ends right along that line right there because I got all this going on over here. I just wanted to see how light it was going to be, and I love the color again. This is a nice color. This is where I want to be. I don't want to be on this darker side here. So this here, I got to twist my arm. I don't want to be here. I want to be here. So this has to go. So I'll be painting her again. But that's part of this. I've had this problem before. This has happened to me several times before. And I've had to just lighten my paint. So anyways, you think you stirred all your paint up, and then you go back and you find out there's a little remnant still kind of sitting off to the side. I found them on the bottom, actually on the bottom of the jar. And as I was getting down lower in my jar, I was stirring those up more and more and darkening my paint. And I went, that ain't gonna work. So that's why you like to make up a whole batch. That's why I bought these little ones. I love these little ones, and I don't know if I'm going to just stick with these because they make the right amount of paint that I like, and they're less mess. And I just like the fact that they're not cheaper, but it works for me. I like the littler cans, so I think this is what I'm going to go to if I can. I know the one place where I can go get these in my city here. They're not everywhere. They're usually just the bigger can, but not the gallon, but I think it's a quart can. They call it the quart. But anyways, I don't know how many liters that is. This is 237 mils here. So this is really quite perfect for me. I like this size. It works out for me. So I might just buy another 2 of those and just set them off to the side and have them. I love the measurements of them. It's a lot better for me. And I just pour a whole one right into my mason jar. So anyways, this is working out really nice. I'm really happy with how well she's turning out. She is turning out really good though, all the same. So just know that I am pleased with her painting everything. So this is great. This little gal here, I just sanded her on this side, but I had to fill in a little goopy thing up here. I missed this little indent here, so I got that looked after. I'm not going to fix this indent because it does reflect into her hair, and it's doable. You can get by on this here. If I was to fix this indent, what would happen is we would lose her hair. I don't know how to sculpt hair yet. I am new at all this, so just like a lot of us restorers, we're learning as we go along. Why muck with something that's not that bad? But over here we have an actual hole, you know, gotta fix it. This was a hole. There was problems in here. They're very minor. They're fixed. So I'm happy with that. I fixed some legs as well. And we're doing really good where we're at right now. I'm happy. So get this dried for over the next 2-3 days. Then I'll come back to it, sand her down, and we'll get her fully painted. And she's going to look spectacular when she's done here. I think she's just going to turn out to be a lovely, lovely Dolly Rekord when she's done. And I'm excited to see her done and get her back to singing again. I want her ready for Christmas. That's what I want. I want her in my house ready for Christmas and wearing a Christmas dress and ribbons and red and green ribbons and all that, and have her sitting in front of the Christmas tree would be a delight. But anyways, in the meantime, this is where I am with her. And so I'm not going to fight over paint. I will win. But anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I am moving along. It's slow moving. This is not, like I say, a fast-paced type of hobby. If you're looking at something fast-paced, this is not it. You got to take your time. And if you see some place where you blundered or you've missed a little bit and it bothers you, fix it, because it will bother you once the doll is done as well. So you want to make sure you're getting those vital parts. Why did I do her temples like I did here on the side of her head, right there, and on this side as well? The thing was, there's a lot of pittedness there that would probably not show up completely because her ringlets would come down past that, but I know it's there, and that bothers me. The paint picks it up. The paint shows it off. And so if the paint's going to do that to me, then I'm going to say, no, you're not. And I'm going to fix it. So while you're at the stage of the game, sand your paint off. Put some more spackling over that. And if you have to do it again, spackle again, you put the paint on, you go, no, you're still not working right for me. Sand it, let the paint dry, or you take the paint off right away if you want. Sand again, because the paint will all blend in the end. And that's what you got to do when you're doing this. You don't get everything. And some of the major places where I'm looking at on these dolls, I want those places looked after. And I've done some 4 or 5 times because it just isn't looking the way I want underneath the paint. I can see it through the paint. I know it's there. It's me. But I want to be that way now. I want to be a little bit more particular and not in a hurry. And that's what it's about, not rushing these dolls. These dolls have had issues after, 100 years ago. They have their problems. And they're just minor. They're just small little things. But those small little things, if you start looking around, they're there. And you got a lot of them. And yet you just took out a whole bunch of them. You sealed up a whole bunch of them, but you still see those 10 areas or those 4 areas, and those they mount up to you, and you're like, no, I'm not putting up with that. I got 90% of you. Let me get at least try to achieve 95% of the errors that are on this doll. So anyways, that's me and how I look at it. Now, you might have a different way of looking at it. You might be able to live with a little bit more of it. That's okay. It's your doll. That's how I look at it. This is me speaking here. So just understand that, So I'm happy to show this to you and let you see where I am and how this is all working for me, though. And the mistakes even in my paint, like, I've had this happen before, where I've had paint laying at the bottom and it shows up as I'm painting. An orange streak will show up, or another streak of a red will show up, and I'm like, oh, I had y'all mixed in there. And you don't, so, this is what I do. I just go back, and you just have to fix it all back up again, and, stir up your paint and make it lighter if you have to, and yeah, so we're moving along. We're doing okay here. So, but I think it's important. Oh, I want to show this. I also fixed up by her neck here. This on her chest plate here. I did fix this little area up in here, and I also sealed up in here. I've done it all with spackling. I did not use anything else except spackling. So just to let you know that's what I'm using, and it's worked just wonderfully. And once spackling hardens up, it's a nice hardness to it. And I love how it works on the dolls. And like I tell you, the reason why I'll put a lot of spackling on a doll, but I'll do a lot of sanding and take a lot of it back off, is because I want the paint to stick to the wood, not to this white stuff. I want it to fill in where it needs to go, but the paint must adhere to the wood. And that's what it's all about. So this is her arm here, and I spackled the whole arm. But you'll see, in the end, a lot of this will be gone because I just want it to go into the little crevices through the doll, little nicks, little inlets, so the paint goes on nice and smooth. And we don't see all of those. We will still see some. It can't get them all, and I do understand that. But when it comes to the face, I'm a little bit more particular than maybe a limb. You know, on limbs you can cover with socks, but you still want to make sure she looks good, you know, all the same. But I'm still particular to some degree, even on the limbs. You know, I might let a couple things slide here and there, but if I can cover the vast majority of the little blemishes on this doll, I will. And the thing is that they turn out wonderful afterwards, and I'm always pleased with how well they turn out. But I do take the just off because I don't want the paint sticking to the spackling. I want it sticking to the wood, because that's where the friendship is, the marriage, as I call it, you know, how they love each other. So, but we do want to cover up those blemishes, because paint will show those blemishes and will show it to the world, and it goes, haha, you missed here. So we don't want no ha-has. So that's what we're doing. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you see where where I'm coming from, what I'm doing, and things are turning out really nice. I'll show you another leg that I painted and went right back over it again. There's things on it that I didn't like, and I'm going right back over it again. And this is what you do. You're always looking at it again and go, that ain't good enough for me. You can see I had problems up here, I had problems back here, down the seam, over the toes, you know, and I just go right back at it again. And you have to. That will all show up. It was showing up this was all showing up. There's these little nicks that were running through here, and I don't know what they were from. They're not from my knife. There's something else that was going on in the composition itself. So it might have been part of it. I don't know. But anyways, I sanded it off, the paint off, spackled it, and those little nicks now are be covered up. This 97% of this will be gone, and those little nicks will be the only thing that will be covered in. And that's what we want. So there we go. It looks really good. I'm really happy with how well, but too dark, too dark. And this paint's too dark. It needs to be lightened. So you'll get a repaint over there as well. Lots, like I say, going on. A lot of catching up as I'm moving through. I'm trying to keep you caught up with me here. And it's exciting. I find this really exciting, and it's nice to see these dolls change from the paint that they were once to what they are now. And they look fresh, they look clean, they look inviting. And, you know, I want to hear this doll sing again. That wonderful voice from the 1920s, the lady who was singing childlike, which is wonderful. That's just not a put down. She was singing childlike to capture a child's ear. That's what that was about. And she's singing London Bridge is Falling Down. Those are wonderful. That's just, her voice is wonderful, how she sings the way she did. I remember hearing old movies, and I'm going way back to the movies when I heard voices like that, you know, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know who you are, lady, but I remember hearing voices like that in those old movies, when talkie movies just start coming out and you hear those voices. This is that same era, and it's just wonderful to hear that voice. And she's also trying to sing to capture a child. Those are songs for children, so she's got that nice high-pitched voice to grab the child's ear. So wonderful stuff, and that's what this doll's about. We're going to listen to her later when she's all put back together again, and we'll listen to her voice, and I'm going to do a whole thing about her, and we're going to have fun with her. So I want to see if I can find some more of her cylinders that go into her, and that would be great to get as well. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for stopping by and listening to me. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate each and every one of you who do stop in and leave a comment too, and who have subscribed and say, hey, I like this lady. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about. And I'm going to say to you, you're right. Okay, got to have some fun, right? So a little bit of levity goes a long ways. In this world, in this troubled world that we're in right now, we need to have a little bit of fun. So anyways, thank you again, and we'll be coming back to you again. Leave me a comment if you like, and subscribe if you like, and hit the bell button, and that helps you out to know where I am and what I'm doing and when the next video is coming up. And I got another baby Dimples that's waiting inside the house for me to change into her dress. I got 2 dresses in there that I've been looking at, and I don't know which one I want to go for. But anyways, doesn't matter. Thanks again. We'll be talking to you again really soon. Bye-bye.